Hey, good evening, everybody. This is my very good friend, Keith Dunn. He is a wonderful network engineer.
And this is Chuck Rogers, and he's an amazing licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And every week we team up to be Tabletop Coffee, where we talk about how to do life, do it well.
And being bold and never, ever bitter.
Never bitter. And tonight we're going to talk about kind of part two of turn toward, turn against, or turn away. But tonight we're specifically going to talk about the piece of turn away. Stay tuned and we'll talk about it.
What were you saying? I was distracted. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it. So last week we talked about the turn toward.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep going.
And we also talked about if you turn away and if you
turn against.
Turn against. Yeah, turn against. That's a new one for me. But it was really interesting because the turn toward was the most important part to get and to understand.
Extremely important.
In order to communicate well with your partner when they are talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn toward is what you want to do. Turn against is basically dismissing the other person.
Right.
But turning away is really, I think, pretty common.
Yeah, I think so.
You just kind of ignore the other person's quote-unquote bid for attention.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose focus. Sometimes we do it on purpose. I really do feel like at times we're not doing it on purpose. We just lose focus.
Yeah. The example we gave last week was if I walk into the house and, or let's just say that my wife and I are watching TV.
Right.
And she puts her hand out and I just don't acknowledge that she's putting her hand out.
Chuck's over here and he's flipping through his phone and responding to
that
emails.
Happens a lot. In the past, I would say that it was kind of a thing of people would be watching TV and the spouse would be just kind of talking to them, and then you could immerse yourself in a book, or immerse yourself in a magazine or video games.
Yeah, it can be anything. Anything distracting.
Became huge.
Right.
And now I would say that it's probably, you're right, I think it's kind of people sitting there on their phone, just kind of scrolling through on some type of activity, a game or social media.
Right.
So it becomes a huge deal.
Right. And that goes back to another video. If you really are having a problem with putting your cell phone down, we had another video where we talked about a cell phone jail.
Oh, yes.
I'll put that up here because it really is a great tool to come home, put your phone away, put everybody's phone away, lock it away for a certain amount of time. And it really does a great job of putting you in a place where you're able to listen and hear what the other person says.
Yeah. So the Gottmans, even in their 7 Principles material, which I'm studying for the workshop coming up in September, have a little section in there where they talk about the importance of couples having conversations about how they want to deal with electronic distractions.
Okay.
And setting up some family rules about that and making requests of the other person about how they would prefer that it be handled.
Okay.
If it's not an issue for you as a couple, it's obviously something that you don't need to deal with. But for many couples, it really is. So have some conversations with the other person, make requests of what your preference would be about how to do electronic distractions.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Making the request is always important.
It is. Hey, I hope you liked our content.
Yeah.
If you did, please go ahead and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, and ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming episodes.
And make sure to like it.
Yep, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everybody.
You know what's so great about it all?
What's that?
Chuck is so awesome that he just brings me along with him, and I come out looking awesome too. It's wonderful.
Just think what your life would be like without me in it.
It'd be so sad.